Thank you very much for the coordination from the research team. My name is Mickey Baron. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you are tuned in all over the world. Today I want to take you through a brief, powerful journey into the dynamic world of occupational therapy. We are not defined by the conditions, but by the lives we help rebuild. Our mission is simple, yet profound. Our mission is to empower people across the lifespan to engage in the meaningful activities, the occupations. Occupations are things that you need to do, you're required to do, and you want to do, just to make their life worth living. And with my short presentation, I'd want to showcase what we are doing here at Kenyatta National Hospital Occupational Therapy Department, what we are doing in action as the OT department. Occupational therapy in mental health here at Kenyatta National Hospital. In the realm of mental health, occupational therapy is a beacon of hope. We move beyond diagnosis to address the daily impacts of mental illness. We create a supportive environment and use purposeful activities, from managing daily routines to developing coping strategies, to help individuals reclaim their roles, rebuild their confidence, and reconnect with their communities. We do not just treat the mind, but we help rebuild a life when it comes to mental health. And my presentation today is more of pictographs so that you're able to relate to my explanation on what we do on the ground. Occupational therapy in physical dysfunction. So following a physical injury or an illness, the simplest task can become a mountain to climb. Our role in physical rehabilitation is to help individuals conquer that mountain. We focus on restoring the functional independence that forms the bedrock of dignity. Through adaptive techniques, as you can see on the videos, on the pictures that are there, therapeutic exercises, and assistive technology, we enable people to do the activities of daily living, that is dressing, cooking, work, and care for themselves again. So we have occupational therapists working in the inpatient, meaning in the wards, and then we have occupational therapists who are working in the outpatient docket. And this happens seamlessly across all the settings, where our inpatient team work intensely to help patients achieve functional milestone for a safe return home beyond the walls of the hospital. While our outpatient services team, such as the driving assessment and rehabilitation, are a powerful example of how we enable community mobility and participation, ensuring that a disability does not mean a loss of freedom. Occupational therapy for pediatric conditions. For our children, occupation is play, others are schooling or learning. In our sensory treatment room, as you can see, my cursor, we help children with sensory processing challenges to successfully navigate their world. For those with delayed milestones, as you can see on my right, the cursor, for those with delayed milestones, we do not just focus on the delay, we focus on the child's potential using play-based therapy to build the motor, cognitive, and social skills they need to thrive at home, in school, or even on the playground. As Kenyatta National Hospital Occupational Therapy Department, we've been active on matters partnership and collaboration. We have well-wishers who always donate equipment to us. We partner with them. We also partner with the various news houses in the country like KBC, where we create awareness and even educate the general public on matters occupational therapy. We are also connected globally, and it is of great honor to relay a message from our president of the World Federation of Occupational Therapy, that is Samantha Shen. She is aware of all the activities that are going on here in Kenya, representing Africa at large. To mean, as occupational therapy department, we are connected to the global world. And on that note, I would like to announce that come next year, 2026, Kenyatta National Hospital Occupational Therapy Department, we will be privileged to conduct the celebration of World Occupational Therapy Day come next year. So if you want to partner with us as an individual, as an institution, you are advocated to reach out to the head of department for more information and collaboration. So our impact is not confined in the clinic. We believe in meeting people where they are through partnerships and community outreaches. We extend our reach into the hearts of our community. We work to demystify disability, promote occupational justice, and ensure that health and well-being are accessible to all, not just those who can walk through a hospital door. As you can see in the pictures, as Kenyatta National Hospital, we were approached by a group of parents requesting us to come up with an activity involving the community at large, and we were able to conduct Autism Family Fund Day. That was on the 22nd, celebrating the 22nd of April, celebrating the World Autism Day. And those are just pictures to showcase how we collaborated and how we partnered with the parents, and just to create awareness. So if you're outside there, know that Kenyatta National Hospital Occupational Therapy Department, we have community outreach programs to just try and create awareness and bridge that gap between the hospital and the community at large. As we know, we're in the 21st century, and occupational therapy is not left behind. We are going with the trends of the world. And so what is the 21st century calling for occupational therapy? It is to be a unifying profession that bridges the gap between medical treatment and human life. It is to be innovators, advocates, and essential partners in building a world where every person, regardless of ability or circumstances, has the opportunity to live a full, independent, and meaningful life. So mine was just to wrap up in a short presentation what we do here at Kenyatta National Hospital and how the window of collaboration is open to the general public. You just need to pass through our main department. Thank you very much. And now on that juncture, I'll be able to welcome Mr. Mark from the Kenya Medical Training College to just take us through what they do as KMTC. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. As you heard from the introduction, my name is Mark Nechio from Kenya Medical Training College. I am a lecturer representing the head of faculty who was invited to share about occupational therapy in action and the contribution of Kenya Medical Training College on this day, World Occupational Therapy Day. So the outline of my presentation, I'll give a background of KMTC, the training of occupational therapy in KMTC. Then I will share the enablers for the quality training, the future prospects, and the conclusion of this presentation. So on the background, KMTC, sorry. On the background information, KMTC became a state corporation in the year 1990 through an act of parliament. And it was amended later. It is the oldest and largest mid-level training in Kenya and in East Africa region, and also research and consultancy. It contributes to 85% of the local mid-level health workers, and its training aligns to strategies to enable health sector meet the universal healthcare, the Vision 2030, and Sustainable Development Goals. KMTC training focuses on Kenya's healthcare needs from bottom of the economy and also looking at the global needs because we are training for the growth. So KMTC background a bit has got 87 campuses currently and 6 satellites across all 45 counties out of the 47 counties. The student population currently is 66,296. We have 7 faculties and 18 academic departments with over 99 courses starting from certificate courses, diploma, higher diploma, and short courses. And as you can see, the population-wise is spread across the country. So the core statements of KMTC, our vision, is to be a globally competitive institution in training of human resource for health. Our mission is to develop fit for purpose, mid-level health professionals through transformative training, research, and consultancy. And our motto is training for better health. Core statements continued. Our core mandate, first of all, we have the core values, which is in accountability, integrity, creativity, equity, teamwork, innovation, and professionalism. Our college mandate is to provide facilities for college education, to develop and expand training opportunities, to provide consultancy services and research, to develop health trainers, to conduct examination and grant diplomas, to determine who teaches and what to be taught and how it should be taught. So that is why, because of our curriculum, we keep reviewing it to determine the needs of the society and how it's better to be addressed. So we have our strategic plan 2023-2028, a 5-year strategic plan with actions, 1 in quality training, research, innovation and consultancy, digital transformation, and institutional sustainability as the key result areas in this strategic plan. So when we come to curricula, KMTC curricula is a competence-based curriculum, which is based on 80%, 70% on practical training and 30% on theory. And our curricula are reviewed regularly to cater for the emerging and the emerging health needs. Also, most of our curricula are accredited by relevant regulatory bodies. For example, when we talk of occupational therapy, we have the Occupational Therapy Council, just like Nursing Council and Clinical Officers Council, among many other regulatory bodies. So the graduation and admission trends, As you can see in this presentation, the admission trend has been going up until now. It's hitting almost 30,000 mark per year. Since inception, that is in 1927. And the graduation trend, as you can see, it is going up only in 2020, when you understand the COVID time, when some programs were not able to fully graduate. So the last graduation, we had 22,695 graduates. That was in 2023. And in 2024, December, the number was higher than that. And we have another graduation in December 2025, which the number is also higher, following that trend. So coming to World Occupational Therapy Day, so the training of occupational therapists at KMTC. KMTC has got 9 campuses which train occupational therapy at diploma level across the country, and 1 campus training both diploma and higher diploma level, which is the Nairobi campus. So the campuses are Nairobi campus, Machakos, Mombasa, Unguja, Makindu, Nyamache, Teso, and Mbuvu and Muranga. And the 2 more to come soon. The college graduates an average of 200 occupational therapists at diploma level each year, and an average of 6 higher diploma annually. In December 2025, the college expects to graduate 200 occupational therapy with a diploma level. Faculty members are carefully selected to ensure competent products. The training continues. KMTC provides 85% of health workforce in the country, with the training of occupational therapists having started in 1968 as the first class. So this first cohort, they graduated in 1971 with 5 graduates. And since then, the college, according to the database, has graduated over 3,000 occupational therapists who are distributed across various health facilities, schools, industries, NGOs, and others privately practicing, thus forming an integral part in the primary healthcare networks for realization of UHC. Others have also secured jobs outside the country. Training continued. The Department of Occupational Therapy offers the following courses in the training. 1, we have a short course, specifically upper extremity splinting in occupational therapy. We have the diploma in occupational therapy program. We have the higher national diploma, which are 3. Higher national diploma in community-based rehabilitation. We have a higher diploma in renal rehabilitation. And in collaboration with other departments, we have a higher diploma in speech and language pathology. And we also we are the host department of a pioneer program called Diploma in Speech and Language Therapy. This was carefully selected and considered by our CEO that we are the department which can host this program, which is also anchoring in with our higher diploma program. When we go to the enablers of KMTC, KMTC remains the desired center for training of occupational therapists at basic level. With ever-growing changes in the healthcare, we can only strive to grow further. Our spread in 45 out of 47 counties ensure that we graduate quality healthcare workers in numbers and are desired to meet the health needs of the country. Our courses are highly regulated. We are in good standing with the Kenya Occupational Therapists Association and the Occupational Therapy Council of Kenya, which is the regulator body of our profession. Another enabler is our curriculum is constantly reviewed to meet the standards of care in the evolving healthcare. And at this juncture, it's good to know that our curriculum is also WOFOT accredited. That is the World Federation of Occupational Therapists accredited. The curricula ensures standardization of training across campuses. And we have quality management systems, which are the KEPS and the ISO certification, which we monitor the training and the learning process. We have collaboration and partnership with the various institutions for clinical placements. We have MOUs with the National Referral Hospital, like KNH, which is our main trainer, other county and national referral facilities, counties, private institutions, and other NGOs, just to mention but a few. Our other enabler is our faculty internal. They support through seasoned contracted lecturers. We have internal seasoned lecturers and the externally contracted who are carefully selected to meet the growing needs. We have partnerships for improved training and research. Like now, currently the department is conducting a research on autism landscape in Kenya, which is a grant supported program where the department is conducting this study to understand the diversity about this condition. Enablers, again, we have skills labs and modernized equipment to match training of emerging healthcare needs. We have simulation laboratory, and we are intending to introduce telemedicine. We have introduction of anatomy dissections to all diplomas and higher diplomas, e-learning and the e-library platform, introduction of science weeks. Like now we have the KMTC Scientific Week in collaboration with local and international stakeholders. We recently launched a student support initiative where we have the alumni and any other interested parties to support needy students so that we increase retention and graduation rates. We have a strong reputation with the other collaboration bodies. For example, the department strength, because of time, let me just project the strength of the department. We have cooperation with partnership. We have increased the number of lecturers. We have reviewed our curriculum, active membership about the welfare, lifelong learning, and harmonized teaching and learning. We have partners. We cooperate with a number of partners. We have the Clinton Health Access Initiative, Karolinska Institute, Ministry of Health, county governments, national hospitals, KNQA for equation of our graduates, the qualifications, private and faith-based organizations, among many more NGOs. Our future prospects, we have continued production of fit-for-purpose occupational therapists. We have ongoing collaboration and investment to sustain the further enhanced positive outcomes. That is the modernization of our laboratory, curriculum development and review, faculty development and infrastructure. For us to achieve global recognition through collaboration with International Academy of Physician Associate Educators. That is our future prospect. The role of occupational therapists in achieving primary healthcare and the UHC cannot be underestimated. KMTC continues to focus on quality training towards fit-for-purpose healthcare professionals who include occupational therapists. We remain cognizant of the changing landscapes in training, rapid technological advancement, shifts in patient demographics, emerging diseases, and the need for evidence-based research and evolving healthcare models that demand adaptation. We seek to make our training relevant and adaptive to market demands. For instance, we have looked at our curriculum. We have started programs like in our new curriculum, we have school-based OT, we have assistive technology, we have aquatic occupational therapists, and pressure garmenting, among other new market demands to align our products to the current needs of the market. Lastly, I wish to appreciate the audience for your time. That is a brief role of KMTC in OT in action. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mark. Our next presenter is coming from Kijabe. So you are highly welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm very excited about sharing about the Pediatric Occupational Therapy Program. It has been a work in progress for many years, and we are excited to have already graduated our first cohort and are working on having our second graduation very soon. Let me share my screen and I will get started. So Kijabi College of Health Sciences is a faith-based institution, and so a part of that is understanding your faith as an occupational therapist and how that engages with our clients as well. And so I will just read one verse here from Psalms 139. And it says that, "For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well." And so as we train, we desire that not only the therapists in this case, but also the clients that we work with, they understand that they are fearfully and wonderfully made. The college as a whole, the mission is as follows. It says, Kijabi College of Health Sciences exists to glorify God through compassionate healthcare, training, innovation, and spiritual ministry in Jesus Christ. The vision of the college is to be a center of excellence in healthcare, education rooted in Christian values. It is a school that has just developed and expanded, and we have new facilities. As what you can see here is actually just half of the new facilities that are been put in place. So we have expanded dramatically over the last few years. The school has almost doubled in its size over the last couple of years. So for occupational therapy, there was a big kind of push in the department to have some specific occupational therapy training. And so as we looked at what would be important for Kenya and for occupational therapists, there was some numbers that were a little bit shocking to us, and that was the assumption by several organizations that the population had roughly 10 to 15% with disability. And so if you calculate that, it means that with our current census in Kenya, that there's about 7,200,000 individuals with a disability. And that translates to roughly 40% of those are those 0 to 14, 20% are 15 to 24. And then again, we found it a bit shocking that about 66% of this is in the rural areas. And so we sought to figure out how can we help address those that are in need of services. And so that is the kind of the beginning of the pediatric program. And so as we look at World OT Day, here is a definition of what pediatric occupational therapy is. And it's a specialized branch of OT that focuses on children from infancy through adolescence. And that being said, as has been mentioned before, there's a few key areas that we look at for children. That means motor skills, that means sensory processing, that means self-care, play and social interaction, school readiness, and then of course, the typical things that we think of with occupational therapy, all of our activities of daily living. And so those are our main areas of focus when we think of pediatric. Essentially, we are looking at supporting children in building independence and functional abilities across all of these areas. And so as we look at how does occupational therapy interface with the medical world, we don't just do only from a physical perspective. We don't just use, for example, a biomedical model or approach. We want to make sure that we're addressing the whole person. And for children, what's unique is that it involves the family as well. And so you need to address the rest of the family and not only the child in this case. And so when we look at the theme, occupational therapy in action, just to emphasize this for all of us, I think it's important to think of this as it's not just about what OT is, but what it does in real time. So when we think about that, that means we are not just talking about a definition of what OT, but how we engage with each client. Does it mean we do the same thing every time over and over again with each client, or do we engage in real time with each client to figure out what each client needs at their point? And so again, here, when we think about that, that could mean community settings, it could mean therapy center, it could mean on the street, it could mean in a school, it could mean at a church, it could mean wherever that individual engages on a normal daily basis, or where they would like to engage. And so we want to think about how our practice, and specifically in this case, pediatric OT, how that engages and is a catalyst for equity and empowerment, not just a clinical service. So as we developed the pediatric OT program, we looked at what type of program a majority of individuals would want. And so we chose a higher national diploma program. And so that means that it's a 1.5 year program. We are working towards a 2-year transitional program. Hopefully that would be offered in the next income of students. And then one thing that is a little different and unique about Kijabi is that what we offer is a full-time and in-person program. So I'm saying and because some full-time programs can also be taught online. However, this program is designed to be both full-time and in-person. We do this for a couple of reasons, but the main we feel that, especially with pediatrics, there is a lot practiced. And even though a majority of OTs in Kenya are kind of ready and prepared for pediatric practice, this gives them a specialty area, and that requires some additional practice. And so our classes require not just being there in person, but we are in class a portion of the time. And then in addition to the class time, we spend a lot of time practically trying this. So that means in the hospital in Kijabi, we run pediatric clinic. On Mondays, a developmental clinic. And then we are in the wards. We are also helping individuals, the students, work towards understanding cross-cultural practice. It means emphasizing assistive technology and how that engages and empowers our children and their families. And then the last kind of unique thing about Kijabi is even at this higher diploma level, we are really emphasizing research. And that is from several perspectives. One is understanding the evidence-based practice research that is out there for pediatrics, as well as designing and developing research. So each of the students work through the complete design and implementation of a research study. And we found that this really helps with you as a clinician, helping you understand how to read research, how to understand research, and then in turn, how to apply it. And so here are just a few pictures to hopefully pique your interest in pediatric OT, and especially pediatric OT at Kijabi. We have therapy rooms specifically set up for pediatrics with an emphasis in a variety of treatments. We have our own dedicated classrooms, which have advanced training techniques and available equipment. And we also participate in our hospitals, chapel services, not only just attending, but also doing trainings and things for the hospital as well. Our other thing that I mentioned here was participation in the community. And so again, as we think about the World OT Day theme, I think it's important to think how we empower and how we engage in normal, real, everyday things. And so a big portion of the pediatric OT program is actually running clinics in the communities and in a variety of communities. So this has meant anywhere from doing clinics with partnering churches to doing trainings for caregivers in communities to engaging with families in their home settings and helping them bring value to their children who have a disability, to even creating fun days for individuals with therapeutic needs. And so even going to things like the beach with those children. Assistive technology, I mentioned, is a major part of the program. And so this is anywhere from creating assistive equipment and designing that to wheelchair services. And again, this is not just typical provision. This is the desire to provide custom seating. So as you can see here in the middle, there's individuals that maybe cannot fit into a typical wheelchair. And so doing modifications and setting those up and doing client and parent caregiver training as well to make sure that they're as independent as possible once they have their equipment. Those are just some of the assistive technology pieces. One of the things I didn't mention about the program is that we do a lot of trainings. And so this is not just training that the students are participating in and receiving knowledge, but this is the students providing the training. So we learn about specific topics, we practice those topics, those techniques, and then they in turn do the training for others. So in these pictures, you can see trainings that were completed for parents of children with disabilities. You can see youth conferences and trainings that were done by our students. And so we hope that when they are done with our program, that they are not just better therapists, but they are better at communicating and training others in what is able to make their children as independent and live a meaningful life. A part of that also is research, and I mentioned this earlier, but each of our students participate in a research course, and that course extends over the entirety of the program. And so it helps with understanding how do we read research, how do we interpret that research, and then in turn, they develop and present. You can see here the students presenting at the CODA conference, as well as at the Kijabi Research Day, which happens across the entire hospital once a year. Here, again, with the practicality of the pediatric OT program, we really emphasize engagement with the community in different settings. And so a portion of this program is designed to have practical attachments, and those are done at a number of places. And so as you can see here, one of our more recent cohorts is doing a training at KNH, and then we have another picture here of one of our other students that is working at a local organization in Naivasha. And we have a lot of other partners that I have not put up here, but doing practicals at a variety of settings allows our students to really be able to understand different categories of of conditions, as well as how to engage with those students and give them the best outcomes. So as I end here, I will just highlight one more verse and emphasize that we would desire that our graduates are able to address the whole person and not just the physical, mental aspects of the individual that we work with. And so we would desire that we have graduates that are competent in addressing the spiritual well-beings of all of our clients.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know you. Sorry. I'd like to invite Madam Maggie.
Thank you very much. As I just get my presentation online. I hope it is. Just give me 1 second, 1 minute, please. All right, there. I trust I think I'm connected now correctly. Thank you so much, Bwana Baron, for this opportunity. And indeed, we must not forget we are together today because of our World Occupational Therapy Day. And it's a great thing to bring us together as a profession and to make a statement to the world that we are here and we have much to offer the world. Thank you so much. I'll go straight then into my presentation. Just acknowledging that this is a presentation on celebrating World Occupational Therapy Day. I'm Margie Koech, as I had introduced before, but for others, HOD, Department of Occupational Therapy in the School of Health Sciences at the Presbyterian University of East Africa. For those who have not had the privilege of stepping to the campus, this is our window pizza. That's our admin building. It's a lattice campus, very cold, especially in the early mornings, but that is the Presbyterian University, the administration building. Just, of course, important to just highlight our vision and our mission and our university motto, as you can read them there. Our university motto is something that we can relate to, everybody can relate to, because we're here to find new paths. Presbyterian University is a Christian university sponsored by the Presbyterian Church. And so the foundation is based on Christian principles. And so that verse from Jeremiah 6:16 just captures the intent of the founders and of those of us who are still there to find new paths, both for ourselves as lecturers, as staff, and also for our students. And particularly helpful in terms of occupational therapy, because I think occupational therapy as a profession is at the forefront in terms of finding new paths, things that can work, things that can help, things that can add value to the lives of our clients. Our philosophy is, as you can see, let all things be done decently and in order. Again, based on a scripture from 1 Corinthians 14, verse 40. The Presbyterian University is located in Thogoto, on Hospital Road in the Mission area, in the Kikuyu constituency of Kiambu County, about 20 kilometers west of Nairobi City. As I said, it is sponsored by the Presbyterian Church of East Africa. The Thogoto Mission is considered by some as a cradle of education. It's an area that's rich in academic and spiritual and even political history. The area is home to influential institutions such as the Church of the Torch, which we as Kenyans are very familiar with, especially in relation to political pursuits for freedom, for justice. There's also the Alliance High Schools, which are in this area, and the PCEA Kikuyu Hospital, which incorporates a very famous eye clinic and an orthopedic center. So as the university, we are within this cradle of education. And indeed, the history is that even our founding father, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, was actually, this was his home place. And actually on the campus, we have is it not a statue, but we have an emblem that demonstrates that he was actually some training on the site of the campus. So we have some historical background. So as we look at occupational therapy, I want to just highlight in terms of training and then in terms of partnerships. So in 2007, the precursor Presbyterian College was transformed into the current university under a letter of interim authority. It was not until December 2020, that the university became a fully chartered faith-based university. In 2011, PUEA admitted the first cohort of privately sponsored students for the upgrade conversion from diploma to Bachelor of Science program in occupational therapy. That was the upgrade program, or then it was called the conversion program. In 2019, PUEA did the first direct entry. So in terms of programs, we have the direct entry for Bachelor of Science Occupational Therapy and the upgrade program in Bachelor of Science in Occupational Therapy. In 2020, I'm sorry, that is not correct. Currently, PUEA has 121 students in a program, both upgrade and direct. In 2024, that's last December, PUEA graduated a total of 32 students in the joint programs. And let me just mention, when we first began the direct entry, we had 5
It seems like we've lost Maggie. So she will join us. At that juncture, maybe I can call on the JQuat team. JQuat team can take over so that when Maggie comes back, we continue. Karibu sana, Ronald Nyawade.
Thank you so much, Baron, and good afternoon to all of us. I can see the Maggie is back. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I think we can proceed. But from your advisory, Baron?
I think Maggie can just continue.
Perfect.
Maggie can continue, please.
Do I continue
Seems
or
like
can
she
I
has
wait?
some network issues. Once she's back, I think she'll continue. So Nyawade, you can proceed as she works on end. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Baron, and happy World OT Day to all of us. It's amazing to be here and to be part and parcel of this meeting that we have today. Baron, you can take me to the very first slide. Allow me to take this opportunity to welcome you and to introduce to you Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, where we are also one of the institutions in these countries that is taking the forefront in training the students in occupational therapy amidst other disciplines where we are hosted in the department. So my name is Ronald Nyawade, as it is indicated in the slides. I wanted to say the very first slide, Baron, the very first one, is basically our JQuat gate. For those of you who have never gotten an opportunity to be here, that is our JQuat gate. Anytime you are here, you would see this, just a view of our innovations and the background where we are coming from an agricultural point of view and a technological point of view. This is what is represented inside the university, and we take pride in being part and parcel of what is taking place inside this great university. So our motto is basically setting trends in higher education, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. And that is what we thrive ourselves in doing even here at the university. I'm a research assistant working with this university, and I want to take this opportunity to just acknowledge our head of OTIF facilitator, Mr. Daniel Kariuki, who I believe is with us in this webinar. I probably will be giving him an opportunity thereafter in case we have any particular questions to do with Team JQuat. And our head of department, Dr. Wallace Karuguti, where the OT fraternity is actually hosted. Is actually aware of this particular webinar, and we have his full support as we even continue with this year's World OT Days celebration. Our vision is to become a university of global excellence in training, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship for development. And as the OT family, we share in this. And that is why we share in the mission as well of the university to just ensure that we offer accessible quality training, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship in order to produce leaders in the fields of the various that have been mentioned. And as a faculty, we are coming in terms of producing leaders in the field of the health sciences, where our OT program is actually hosted as well. Now, a brief history of where JQuat has come from. So this university all the way from 1977, where the plan was in place, and in 1981, where JQuat was a middle-level college. I think some of you, if you are very familiar with technology, you would hear names such as JK CAT. Some would still use JKU CAT. Now, there are people who have failed to move from that era of using JKU CAT and JK CAT, you know. So those are terms that have been used previously. That is briefly our background, where we are coming from, and all the way to 1994, where JQuat was awarded the full-fledged university status. And in 2000, where, again, we had the opportunity to start training various programs, whether it is in master's program and doctorate programs as well. Allow me to just mention that now the OT program is coming in handy in the years 2011, where we were having the first cohort of the upgrade training for occupational therapy, hosted under the Department of Physiotherapy back then. And in 2017, where we had the very first cohort of full-time BSc occupational therapy students. That is where we are coming from, and we are actually glad that right now we are each year we are having a class of occupational therapy. So to say that we are having full classes from first year to fourth year as well. More into it, we are a chartered public university under the Ministry of Education, and we are fully regulated by the Commission of University Education in consultation with other regulatory bodies like the Occupational Therapy Council of Kenya and the Kenya Occupational Therapy Association, which we partner with just to ensure that we are up to the required standards of the country in terms of our practice. So JKUAT as an institution has more than 40,000 students as we speak, and we have over 200 occupational therapy students enrolled, both the full-time and the part-time students. So the government has been allowing students to come to Jomo Kenyatta University to pursue occupational therapy in that particular intake, the full-time intake students. And we've been having the upgrade students who have also been coming through and spending 3 years with a bachelor's degree. That is the upgrade cohort, and we continue to do that training in the same regard. Now, JKUAT has so many colleges, and for the occupational therapy training program, we are hosted under the College of Health Sciences. And for those of you who have been close to this institution, you'd notice that we are hosted in the School of Medicine, where we have other programs that have to do with the Department of Clinical Medicine. We have the Department of Medicine and Surgery. The School of Medicine has the Department of Clinical Medicine, the Department of Medicine and Surgery, and we have the Department of Rehabilitative Sciences, where these 3 courses are actually hosted. So we have the BSc in Physiotherapy, the BSc in Occupational Therapy, and we have been able to introduce a bachelor's degree in Medical Social Work, which is a new program with us, which we actually take pride in. And of course, we have the master's program in physiotherapy, which is actually ongoing. So it is important to mention that these programs that I've just mentioned in the slide that has been there before are critical as much as training occupational therapists is actually concerned. Because you notice out here, we keep on spreading the message of having collaborative practice, the different multidisciplinary approaches and all that. And those are aspects that we are very keen as an institution, just to ensure that we are able to ensure that our students are able to work together with our colleagues from the other segments. And it is important that we start from the very area of rehabilitation, where the physios, the medical social work, the speech and language therapists are actually involved. So our core beliefs as an institution and as the occupational therapy family is that being able to participate in occupations, that is everyday activities that bring meaning to the daily lives of individuals, families, and communities, is actually very crucial to the health and well-being. And we all understand that the various accidents, the physical illnesses or mental illnesses, the disabilities and aging can actually turn these activities into challenges. And we also believe that participation in occupations is very fundamental to human growth and development, that is in terms of their health and well-being across the lifespan. So we look at occupations within the various contexts, whether it is social, whether it is physical, whether it is cultural, whether it is personal, temporal, or virtual contexts. And that is why our training goes way beyond just training occupational therapists, but it goes deep into what the various individuals do on their day-to-day basis, I will be able to see in the next slides. So we believe that occupations can be used as both as means and as an end. And we know that there's actually a therapeutic value in occupational engagement as a change agent and engagement in occupations as the ultimate goal of therapy. So our training is inclined to this so that our students from the word go are able to understand how they're able to put the various occupations into place, because as we all understand, colleagues, that is our main tool of trade as occupational therapists. So we can use it both as a means and as an end, even as we keep on delivering the care that we are giving to the people that we are handling out here. So JKUAT has strategically placed itself to offer training, and there is a reason as to why we need this training both at bachelor's degree level in our country today. Allow me to just use this citation from the World Health Organization of 2010, where it indicated that there's actually an increasing global demand for healthcare services due to the increasing prevalence of chronic diseases and anticipated disease outbreaks. And you actually understand that even today, the prevalence of these chronic diseases is actually increasing. We are having so much, we are having so many diseases that are actually with us today that were not with us 15 years ago. And therefore, as occupational therapists, because of the core of what we do, it is important that we have an enhanced training of our different, of the professions that are actually involved in taking care of various individuals out here, because there is actually a serious demand for us to be able to approach the way we do our things in terms of an occupation's point of view. We all understand that right now it is estimated that we have about 2,500 to 3,000 therapists in Kenya who are locally trained. But again, we have for some time stagnated in that we have a very small number of us being able to take up higher education in terms of being able to upgrade our studies. And that is why it is important for us to be able to plug into these programs at occupational therapy level, and of course the master's programs that will be coming, as we'll be able to highlight even in the upcoming slides. So the contributions of occupational health, therapy to health and well-being in promoting active involvement of people in the activities that they want, need, or are expected to do cannot actually be overemphasized, because it is really, really important. So as Team JQuat, we are very intentional, even in the way we are able to train our students, just to ensure that at par with the times that we live in. And therefore, we are having the various students go through their theoretical classes in their first and second years, where they are able to go through the basic sciences. We go to the levels of being able to train our students on the very practical skills. Our students have the opportunity to visit the anatomy labs, where they're able to interact with cadavers of real specimens, where they are able to study the various nerves, the blood vessels, and the anatomy of the human body, just to be well aligned to the realities of what they are going to be able to practice even after their basic studies here. And thereafter, they are able to do their practical classes with the OT skills as required, because we actually have an OT skills lab where they're able to participate in a number of programs. So for now, we are having the two programs, the full-time program in occupational therapy, which is a 4-year course, and an upgrade class that is a 3-year program for our colleagues who are upgrading from the diploma level to the BSc level. In the pursuit of ensuring that our training is up to the standards of the WHO as well, we have been able to partner with the WHO just to ensure that our students are able to gather the necessary skills in wheelchair training. And this has come in handy in the 80-scale training program, where our students are required to attend compulsory wheelchair training, where they are able to understand the referral process, the screening and the assessment process for the wheelchairs, and as well they are able to assemble wheelchairs by themselves and fit them for our clients after assessment, after thorough assessments. And we actually are able to still go on to communities where we've had students go to Garissa, we have students go to the marginalized communities and offer wheelchairs to persons with disabilities, just to ensure that they're able to continue engaging in their daily activities or their daily occupations. And the training has also been able to be offered by our students on the wheelchair use. So that is something that we have ensured even as a department and as occupational therapy, just to ensure that our students have this knowledge right now. As you're all aware today, the world, everyone is speaking about environmental modifications and accessibility. We want everyone within our environments to be able to access quality care. We want everyone to be able to access the various needs that they really are looking for. And that is why, even with the persons with disabilities, it is important for our students to have this particular knowledge. Again, just to mention, we've been able to come up with a Center for Healthy Aging. With the increase of the populations, where we are having a very big group of those that are actually aging, we've noted that it is very, very important for our students, even from JQuat, to come out of the university with very core knowledge of how to take care of those that are actually aging and the elderly in our community. So this has been embedded in our programs, and other programs that we've been able to, we're actually continuing to do, is ensuring that our students are well equipped with the information to do the environmental accessibility scans and assessments, an ability to be able to do assessments and to be able to work in industries as occupational therapists, and again, ensuring that our students have adequate knowledge in vocational rehabilitation, and that has also been included in our training, just to ensure that they are at par with what the world today is actually offering as well. Allow me to move more swiftly to the next slide. And I think we've been able to partner with quite a number of organizations just to ensure that we are training our students in the right way. The ones you're able to see in the slides are some of the organizations we've been able to partner with. KISE has come in handy because of how equipped they are. And the 80 scale training has come in handy. The Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital has come in handy, and many other organizations that we're actually partnering with that you can see in your slides as well. We have been able to ensure that our students are well trained. We are doing some partnerships with universities in the United States of America, the Gwynedd Massey University, where the lecturers are supporting our students in training, and the Warsaw University in Poland, where the lecturers are also supporting our students in training, and we actually take pride in that because we are just ensuring that our students are well trained in the various areas that they require so that they be impactful in the world today. Can move to the next slide, Baron, even as we draw towards a conclusion. Just to note that we are looking forward to a partnership program for the Masters in Rehabilitation, where occupational therapists would be able to plug in and do this Masters in Rehabilitation with other partner universities like the Moi University. I understand there's one in Tanzania, and we are strategically positioning ourselves to ensure that even in Kenya, we are able to plug in as occupational therapists and continue with the continuing professional development as occupational therapists. So I think because of time, you'll allow me to pause it at there. Unless there will be any questions, I believe my senior head of faculty is here, Mr. Kariuki, who will be able to just support us in case there are any questions. This is our Vice Chancellor, Professor Victoria Ngumi, and asanteni sana for listening, and a happy World OT Day to all of us. Thank you.
Indeed, happy World. I'd like to invite Maggie Koech.
My gosh, it's still working.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Baron. Let me try again. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, and sorry for that interruption. It was good to also hear Ronald, and I trust that I will also finish it in the short time that is remaining. So I think I was at that point of just explaining our numbers, how we began, the very low number, but certainly the numbers have increased. And in 2024, we graduated those 32, and we're anticipating in 2025, this year, to actually graduate 40. So that consistently increase, the numbers is very encouraging. An academic leader or program coordinator, and of course, support from a number of inter-school and external faculty. We have one lab technician who manages our skills lab, where of course the students get the wide range of clinical activities and have experiential learning. So that is in terms of training. I haven't gone into much depth, but let me also just comment, and I appreciate that the other speakers have also clarified this, that our program is credited by the World Federation of Occupational Therapists. And of course, it has been approved by Q, which is our regulating authority. And we are in standing or in approval by the Occupational Therapy Council of Kenya as they continue to also do their work of overseeing training institutions in consultation with Q. So in relation to partnerships, which is, I think, one of the highlights for today, allow me just to highlight that, of course, training has to go hand in hand with partnerships. And, all of us recognize that these partnerships, these networks are actually the significant part of the training. There's a classroom, and then, of course, there's the hands-on training. So we do have, of course, numerous partnerships, opportunities for our students. Our students go for practicals one time a year, one trimester a year, which is 3 months. So every third trimester of each year, they go full-time for rotational placements. And these facilities include, but of course are not limited to, county facilities, national teaching and training and referral hospitals, private facilities such as APDK, Ability Therapy Place, Bloom's Garden, Academy, just to mention a few. PUEA is particularly proud to be partnering with KNH, Kenyatta National Hospital, which is famous for, among many other things, its medical, surgical, pharmaceutical services, and of course, its rehabilitation services. And the whole spectrum of rehabilitation is fortunately covered at KNH, so it gives our students the exposure that they need. The PUEA students have been going to KNH for their rotations in pediatrics, physical disabilities, and mental health. And so rather than just giving details about that training, I want to just read a few comments from our students over the years. What has been the experience at KNH? So one of them says, KNH, partnership with KNH has been one of the best opportunities that we students have had when it comes to clinical rotation. The facility offers opportunities to come across a variety of medical conditions and to interact with knowledgeable and well-trained therapists. The therapists at the hospital are engaging, and they are readily available to help when I am stuck. That's a student. Another one says, availability of resources to provide therapy at KNH makes it a better place to do clinical rotations. The staff and therapists are friendly and skilled, and they help students learn and help the students interact in a way that confirms that they are in the right profession. Another one says, the therapists are evidence-based with their knowledge and practice, and the facility devices are ergonomically fit. These are just inputs from the students who have been to Kenyatta over the years, just to demonstrate that for sure KNH is a valued partner. And then just finally, the therapists in the department give us guidance, they believe in us, and they mold each one of us to become competent OTs. So our partnership with KNH is important to us at PUEA, as it is to all of us as training facilities. It's one of our strongest interinstitutional collaborations. And as much as KNH offers what our students need, I think the strongest link comes from the collaborative working relationship between our departments. Even if we had the MOU signed, which we do, of course, that interpersonal connection, that ability to say, you know what, our students can't come as scheduled, can we rearrange? Or our students are having particular difficulty understanding these concepts in terms of practice. Can you help them? Can your therapists work with this particular student in this particular area? Those sorts of collaborations are what make the partnership so valuable. And we have seen that working for us at PUEA. And we appreciate that ability to really work together for the sake of training. As we celebrate OT Day this year, PUEA is strategically placed as one of the OT training facilities to be in partnership with other training facilities for the sake of our growing profession. We are also looking to do some serious partnership with the University of KwaZulu-Natal, particularly in relation to research and helping our students just make their contribution in research and occupational therapy. And of course, there are many other partnerships which we are also pursuing. But I think that one with the University of KwaZulu-Natal is particularly engaging, and already we have had numerous meetings and even had a visiting professor from there. So partnerships and training with KNH and these other institutions is of value, and there's no question that students are more globally competitive because of these partnerships. So can we continue to grow, and may we be encouraged by the role each of our training institutions and partners are playing in giving us reason to celebrate occupational therapy. Of course, I appreciate that the partnership between the three training institutions is so valuable. It's wonderful to see that we can get POEA can get students from JKUAT coming for their master's programs here, or POEA can get students from KMTC to come and do their upgrade. POEA can go and speak to the students at KMTC. You know, KMTC contributes in terms of our partnership for lecturers. So that inter-institutional collaboration is actually the strength for our OT in action. And I feel that's what we're celebrating today, that collaborativeness that helps promote occupational therapy at every level and at every facility. Allow me just to show you one brief clip just to demonstrate OT in action, and so you can know for sure that POEA is on the ground.
Well, it looked amazing.
Awesome. I think in those slides, some of you recognize some of your students. We were all in partnership, OT in action. Thank you so much, and questions are welcome. Back to you, our moderator.
Thank you. Very much. Just a minute. So questions are allowed. Questions are allowed on the Q&A. In case you have any question. Thank you. I think everything is now okay. There was a bit of echo. Sorry for that. Thank you very much for the panelists. We'll now go straight to the Q&A questions. And I'll just read it out loud so that see where we can pick it up from. Joy Kihuha says, there is a big gap on speech therapy with ST being few and quite expensive. There is need to address this OT and ST go hand in hand in neurodiverse children management. And as Mr. Mark had said, the Kenya Medical Training College is offering speech therapy, diploma in speech therapy to curb that gap. And also currently we have occupational therapists who are specializing in speech therapy. So that gap is being sorted out currently. Yes, so I'm being told you guys didn't apply. So you're being encouraged to apply speech therapy in higher diploma, that is in KMTC. This one I think goes to KMTC. What are the 2 counties that do not have KMTC institutions? What might be the challenge and plans by management to ensure that this critical institution is started in the said counties? Yes, Mr. Mark can answer that.
I think one is Kenya, maybe another. The summary of this company is a collaboration for national government and county government, to members of so maybe if you have where it does not exist, you need to
Thank you very much. Another question goes to Kijabe. Kindly share with us the most challenging pediatric occupational therapy you've encountered in your practice. Yes, Luke.
Probably. Are you talking about the most challenging client? I assume that's maybe the question. If that's the question, I don't know that I can pick one particular client, but I do think that—
You can still continue sending your questions. We'll answer them later on if we don't get a chance to do it right now. Is speech therapy included in the occupational therapy course, or it's a standalone course? So I think Mr. Mark will take this question.
As I said, we at KMTC, we have 2 programs as far as speech therapy is concerned. We have the basic diploma, which takes 3 years, just like any other diploma. This diploma is called Diploma in Speech and Language Therapy. The first cohort is graduating in 2025. So what is happening there is it's only being hosted under the Department of OT, but it's a standalone course. For the higher diploma program, there are 4 cadres currently who are eligible to apply. 1, clinical officers, 2, physiotherapists, 3, nurses, and 4, occupational therapists. However, as I indicated, surprisingly this year, no single occupational therapist applied for the higher diploma program, as much as they are the ones who understand more of the gap. I am not so sure whether the application deadline has closed, but you can reach the college admission office, or you check on the website, on the KMTC portal, to see eligibility and the criteria for application. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mark. I think this next question goes to Nyawade and Dr. Kariuki. Is the room for collaboration still open? Consider more university, which will still soon launch masters in, I think he was trying to say, physiotherapy. I don't know if Nyawade or Daniel can answer that question.
Yes, Baron. And I think from what I had mentioned, the Masters in Rehabilitation program, we are having its first hosting from Moi University. So I think the partnership is already in place, And I think not unless he's addressing something else, that is something we can keep on exploring. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Another question, with a diploma in orthotrauma, can someone do a degree in physiotherapy or occupational therapy? That is a no. You cannot move from one cadre and then you go and specialize in another cadre. So my encouragement to the general public, if you're sticking to occupational therapy, do occupational therapy all the way. Is there any framework put in place to increase job opportunities by both local and international for the occupational therapy for OTs? This one, I don't know who will be able to answer this, but it's a question to explore. Why do we have speech therapy under clinical medicine and no one under occupational therapy? I think Mr. Mark will take this one.
I don't have authority to address this question in fully, and what I can say, speech pathology, the higher diploma in speech and language pathology, it is the discretion of the CEO to assign a department which can babysit that program. So of the 4 candidates which were eligible, it is the CEO's determination that that program can be hosted there. And what I can emphasize more, it's not where the program is hosted. It is who is eligible to do it and what can it benefit that program. So I know my head of department maybe it's not in this, but it's not the mandate of at my level to really authoritatively answer that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you've been answered accordingly. I'm seeing Luke has answered a question that was asked on maybe the challenges he faces in the pediatric program. I'll read it out loud. Sorry if you can't hear me. That's from Luke. I don't look at each individual as a challenge in a negative way, but rather the most challenging cases are more related to the barriers that the families and individuals have. For example, the distance to treatment centers. Yes, and that's why now we have occupational therapists working with different that's love community-based occupational therapists. One, we have others. Sorry, I was saying, Mr. Luke was answering a certain question, and he said, sorry if you can't hear me. I do not look at each individual as a challenge in a negative way, but rather the most challenging cases are more related to the barriers that the families and individuals have. For example, the distance and accessibility to the treatment centers. Accessibility to the treatment centers. And sorry, and accessibility to the treatment centers. And I was saying that we have various occupational therapists working in different sectors. We have community-based occupational therapists, we have clinical occupational therapists, we have home-based occupational therapists that are able to help out. I can see there are no more questions in the Q&A chat box. There's one hello professional money joining from Nairobi. Thank you, Perpetual, for that. These graduates are too many. How are we going to enhance great job for this individual? Can they be self-employed without thinking though? Yes, as I said, occupational therapy is quite diverse and unique. You're able to work in different areas. We have school OTs working in a school setup with children. We have educators, lecturers. We have researchers. We have people working in the National Council for Persons Living with Disability, just to advocate matters, disability inclusion, etc., etc.
I'm looking for more questions. I can't see any more questions. So mine is just to say thank you very much for everyone who joined. Thank you very much for tuning in, celebrating World Occupational Therapy Day 2025. As I said, come next year as Kenyatta National Hospital, occupational therapy, we are going to host the World Occupational Therapy Day. And I'm just seeing from one of the panelists, Maggie Coach, she would want to answer the question about the trauma. Yes.
Allow me to just make a comment on that question about transitioning from orthotrauma to OT. And I appreciate what Mr. Mark said. But in our program, we actually have several students who have done orthopedic technician, especially those from countries where there's no Bachelor of Science program available. In Malawi particularly, they come and they do.
I think Madam Maggie, you're mute. Unless you're unmute.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to just comment that person who was asking about transitioning from ortho-trauma to OT or physio, in addition to what Mr. Mark answered, at POYA, we actually have a couple of students or so who have done, say, orthopedic technician level, and who come and enroll in the full-time Bachelor of Science program. And it actually works very well to their advantage. So I think as long as the student, the person is willing to enter the full-time program, that can be an added advantage to them. They don't need to feel that there's no room for them to become an occupational therapist. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the door is open to everyone. Being no other question, from the research center here at Kenyatta National Hospital to the global stage, this is Occupational Therapy in Action, Kenya. And thank you very much for sparing your time and even sharing with us and asking questions on matters occupational therapy. Well, before we close, I think I had students here. These are students who are interested in matters brand ambassador. And because at Kenyatta National Hospital, we train them on how to provide proper service or quality of service. I'd like to just allow them, I'll just say hi. And if they just say hi, and one of the officials can just come and say a vote of thanks, please. You have 2 minutes.
The world is changing, and it is a digital era. The information can always be shared anywhere. And this year's unique approach when it comes to creating awareness on occupational therapy, we are training the young ones to take over. So, karibu sana. You can address this one. Good evening. So, mine is just Lisa Village, occupational therapy, and also so from left to that each other. Spend time just to last year. Lecture on how to make students. Thank you so much. So you can see, you can just say hi and just wish everyone to tune in. Happy World Occupational Therapy Day. So in one country, we're saying Happy World Occupational Therapy Day to the world. So 1, 3. Happy ones. Thank you very much. Amazing. This is the research center, and one of our facilitators. We've worked with him for a long time. He's enabled us conduct all this. Thank you very much. And from Kenyatta National Hospital, we are wrapping it up. Cheers, guys. And love OT and work with OTs. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Cheers.